These are now key moments for this Syracuse team that has struck first a number of times this year and failed to get results after a full 90 minutes. Ian McIntyre talked with us about how he wants to see more composure out of his team after goals. And that flutters just wide off a Notre Dame head.
And that's right to bring up, Andrew, because there's still a lot of soccer left in this one as we take a look at the replay. Notre Dame hoping for a quick response. Header flicked on. Syracuse with a number of defenders in the area to make sure that wasn't a shot on target. But yeah, still 36 minutes to go. That's been a big kryptonite for the Orange. You take the Wake Forest game, the Louisville match, for example, when it was a late goal from the opponent and you let points slip away. So the defense has been very rock solid, but they have to continue to do that for the full length.
Notre Dame made to go chase to try and protect their 4-game winning streak. That's the goal scorer, Ben Rosenblatt. Playing defensively on the right wing, found himself all the way into the box, and it just was placed on a tee for him after a couple of teammates missed on the chance.
And you have to say, Andrew, that goal deserved for the Orange. I mean, they've really settled in nicely. The last 15 minutes of that first half, they were controlling the possession and creating some more chances and making Notre Dame a bit uncomfortable. And they've carried over that momentum into the second half, which is never a guarantee. After, a break in the action, I think Coach McIntyre has to be pleased with the sustained energy that Syracuse has brought, and it paid off for them.
We'll see if the Syracuse team can keep the energy up on the field. Perhaps try and double their lead before Notre Dame strikes back. Threadgold asking questions of the near side Notre Dame defense. Loose from Cutler to Jesus. Kennenbacher straight into the air. Zambrano tries to bring it down. Does end up on his blue cleats, and he locates the near side for Threadgold. Kennenbacher slides it into the Syracuse bench. Zambrano has a rip. One hops into the chest of Blake Kelly. Ambitious, got a good strike on it, but it would have had to have been perfect from that distance.
That's true, Andrew, but I don't mind it from Zambrano. I mean, this Syracuse team is playing with some swagger to begin the second half. Zambrano, a player with a ton of confidence at the moment. Why not take a crack at goal from distance?
Aqua cuts it inside. He beats two defenders, sets it up, top of the box, ripped just off the outer netting. Nathan Scott had a few convinced that that one found the back of the net.
I mean, this period of play right now is some of the best soccer we've seen from Syracuse all season long. If that has just a bit more curl on it, it's bending inside that post, and Nathan Scott would have been celebrating his second goal of the season. So close for Syracuse. It's all about the quick movement of the ball, Andrew. Another example of that there, where it's a one-touch shot, as we saw in the goal.
Boy, Blake Kelly's goal is under a barrage right now from Syracuse. Big night for the Kelly family. His older brother Zach in action right now, the starting keeper for Michigan State. Zach Kelly has a clean sheet at halftime against Maryland right now.
You think the family has a little double box going?
They might, unless they're here in Syracuse, New York, or perhaps in East Lansing. Maybe some of you at home had us on the double box with the Alabama-Vanderbilt game on to see the Commodores pull an upset today.
Need someone deep for you.
Syracuse trying to pull what would be a slight upset at home over Notre Dame. Backstick header. It finds the back of the net. Tapped in for Notre Dame. Irish equalize. And who else but Matthew Rue. Number 11 on the year for the nation's top goal scorer.
Not the prettiest goal of Rue's season, I can tell you that much, but this is what pure goal scorers do. They're in the right place at the right time. Syracuse couldn't clear it out. Defending set pieces, a big focal point, and no one from the Orange could get onto it. Rue says, thank you very much. I'll slot it home, and it's completely against the run of play, Andrew.
Those are the moments we talk about for Syracuse. After you score, can you control the tempo for the next 10? Instead, it's Notre Dame that fights back almost immediately as this goal will go to video review. Looked like Mitch Ferguson had the first chance on it on the near side. He couldn't put it on target, but it ended up finding the head of Matthew Rue on the backstick.
Yeah, so we'll take another look at the replay. I no guarantees, but I have to think this is a review for offsides because of the amount of headers there were. Where was that last defender for Syracuse, and what header are we talking about where there's a potential offside? Right there, the header across. So you see there, it's Omese claiming that it was the header over to the near post to Mitch Ferguson.
Agreed.
Where the offside occurred, Andrew.
And I'm not sure the Orange don't have a legitimate argument here. It's not on that one that was headed home by Matthew Rue. It'd be on the top of the box header that was flicked on for Ferguson. Let's watch. He's on the left side of your screen. And I think he's the last one back behind the Syracuse line, Sam.
I think so as well. You know, no definitive angle to really decide it here, but to your point, there's enough that we can see where it appears as though, although there is another Syracuse defender that got back into the six, and that was Nathan Scott. So a whole lot to sort out, and remember, there has to be definitive evidence.
Let's watch this first angle here. It would be right when this ball is flicked on.
Correct.
So wait for us here for a second. It would be right now. Is number 2 on the right side of your screen the last one back there? I think he is, Sam.
I think he is as well. And then another part of this conversation is, are we certain that header on that play was by Notre Dame? Because there was a Syracuse player going up for it too. If that actually went off the Syracuse defender's head, then that completely negates things potentially, depending on the referee's discretion. So this could be a lengthy review here, Andrew, because there's a whole lot to sort out.
Let's see if we can confirm which head it goes off.
Ooh.
I don't know if you can tell off that one.
No.
Might have hit all 3 of them.
It might have.
So you're looking at that moment right there, not only to see whose head it hit, but also if number 2 in white on the left side of your screen is behind all the Syracuse defenders. I'm pretty confident in saying he is.
I agree.
On that part. But the second question mark that you have to check off is, did it hit off a Notre Dame head? And is it indisputable video reference to overturn the call on the field, which is a Matthew Rue goal?
And the other part of it, too, is that it's not definitively whether it went off the Notre Dame player's head or the Syracuse player's head. But it does look like there might not be enough evidence to overturn this.
And the goal stands for Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish equalize in the 59th minute, and Matthew Rue stands atop a college shocker with 11 goals this season.
Yeah, just really not enough there to overturn it when all was said and done, Andrew. A whole lot to decipher. Syracuse might feel hard done. I'm not ultimately too surprised, though, that the call was upheld, because you really have to have an angle along the sideline. And you're seeing why Matthew Rue was the ACC Player of the Week. He won't stop scoring, Andrew. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, this guy is on an absolute tear right now. We mentioned scored the game winner in the 86th minute to beat Clemson at home in a national championship rematch, as Syracuse is pressured right off the start. And then he scored 2 more against Trine in the midweek. He has the first goal for the Fighting Irish to equalize 60 minutes in Syracuse. And maybe, Sam, that's a call that if the flag goes up on the field, the call stands with offsides. And given it was a good goal on the field, the call stands with an equalizer.
I think that's a valid point.
Now Syracuse tries to take the lead ahead, but that is offsides, and the flag is up against Michael Aqua and the Orange.
The assistant referee ruling that Aqua, when the ball was played to him, was in front of the last defender, even though when he received the pass, he was behind. So that's the explanation from the AR on the far side.
All 3 points still to play for between Syracuse and Notre Dame. A half hour remaining in Syracuse, New York. Braden Smith is off to the races for the Orange. He lets it rip. That's ambitious. And it's deflected toward the corner. Notre Dame keeps it in. Aqua turns, centers, rolls all the way back post. Threadgold lets it go. 5-hole and in. Just like that, the Orange are right back on top. How do you like this for action in the second half?
Wow. Talk about this game opening up, and that might be an understatement. Gabe Threadgold created the first goal with a cross from the left wing. This time, it's a service from the right side that gets all the way through the legs of Blake Kelly, and dangling along the goal line at the back post. There was nothing Notre Dame could do to clear it out in time. Wow, this is a back and forth match. And how about the celly from Gabe Threadgold? Play that guitar.
Full electric guitar here at SU Soccer Stadium. Electricity is bumping through the veins of everyone in attendance.